Alright, gang, welcome back to our Triple Threat Challenge Season 2 here on Zabby, as I like to call it. The actual name is down below. I butcher it every time, so I'm just calling this series Zabby from moving forward. But for whatever reason, if you do not know and stumbled across this, the name of it is down below. It's German, Polish, Austrian, I don't know. Something like that. It's September still. Rain's in the forecast. We got all the straw taken care of in the last episode. Obviously, we did not put a shed down or anything like that, so it's kind of out in the elements. But it should be relatively okay there for the time being. I think what we're going to do today is kind of what we talked about in the last episode, is do some contracts. Now, there is a baling contract out there for square bales. I think we should do it. It's $4,588. That's a decent amount of money. And as I mentioned in the last episode, realistically, what I would love to do is be able to buy Field 43 here. Field 43 is ready to harvest, and it's Flax, which means that's another crop we can put into the storage and sell it when it's best later on. A couple questions were asked, and I've been getting through all of those. I haven't, to be fully transparent with you at the time of this recording, I have not got through every single one yet. I'm recording this Sunday morning, but I will be through all the comments today at some point. But some of the comments I did see, and that some of them I've replied to, was more specifically around, are you allowed to sell these two fields that you start with? You are not allowed to sell those two fields you start with. I probably should have been a little more clear about that. I do think that would be a little bit too easy, because those fields are worth a decent amount of money, so if you sold those, you realistically could pay off the loan probably at the end of the first year, and that obviously is just going to make the series way too easy, in my opinion, so you're not allowed to sell those. A couple other questions were you allowed to utilize workers? Yes, you can use workers, use them to your advantage as much as you want, or as little as you want. That's 100% completely up to you. A lot of other questions, like more specific questions. Can I do this? Can I do that? And realistically, the answer is yes, you can. I'm not here to tell you 100% how to play the game. It's more of I'm giving you kind of a set of basic rules and regulations here, and then you kind of go at it with whatever way you want to, right? You tackle it however you feel is best. There's some restrictions there just to make it a legitimate challenge, like only allowing 3 contracts per month. So you got to be very specific about which ones you pick, right? And then all of the randomized stuff that's included there, right? So let's do this field 75. Let's go ahead and just accept contract. It's a square bale, which is what we've got. And there it goes. It's updated itself. So let's unfold this and get ourselves prepped and ready to go. A lot of people have been seeming to be very excited and really enjoying this series. I do know there were some things I didn't really think about. Some of the actual fields, when you load it up, they may not have one of the specific crops, that the actual map has, right? It may not be drilled, or it may not be whatever. It may not be on the field for that period of time. If you get a situation like that, just do a re-roll, right? Just re-roll the wheel to side, re-spin it, or just hit randomize again on randomize.org, whatever it is you decided to utilize. Just do that, and that will take care of it for you, right? So, wasn't really something I was thinking of, but it is what it is. Also, a lot of you mentioned there is actually now a mustard, a production for mustard on the map, so mustard is back in play once again, because I was a little concerned about that for a while. I didn't think there was one, but evidently there is, so yeah, mustard's in play. I think pretty much everything's in play. I mean, obviously some of the stuff isn't like, oilseed radish. You really can't really do anything with that, but yeah, it's going well, man. I'm very excited about this series. I love this map. I think it's a fantastic map. A lot of you also seem to think the same thing, that it's a great map, so we're going to have a lot of fun, man. We're going to have a lot of fun. Now, this is a large field here that we're taking on. 5 passes, basically, is what it looks like here. It shouldn't take a terrible amount of time to do this, but it is a large field. So, the field that we want to buy, as I mentioned, it's field 43, realistically, is the one we want, and it is 79,000. Wait a minute. Why does it look like it's coming with 42 as well? I guess it's not. It just kind of looked like it for some reason. 79,000. There are other options we can choose from if we decide not to go for that path, but we'll see. Also heard a lot of people in the comments have been kind of playing this. Either one, they couldn't take on another recording challenge, because it does take some effort, right? So they're just kind of playing it for fun on the side, or whatever it may have been. But a lot of people are hitting January and seeing exactly what I'm talking about with this loan, and how it can really play a pivotal role in how long this series is going to be for you. Many people have got no, you're not allowed to pay off the loan, and then yes, you had to take out a loan, so now you got more money, which again, great, because now you can buy more fields and buy more stuff, but you're going to be incurring that interest, right? So it's definitely a win-loss situation in some circumstances, right? You're going to win because you're going to be able to have some more money and do some more stuff, but in the end, you're going to lose because now you've got more money you have to pay off in the next calendar year, at the start of the next calendar year, I should say, and are you going to have that money to pay it off then? Maybe. Maybe you will. Maybe you won't. Who knows, right? But it also means that, the series itself, even if you're ready to end the series, you may not be able to end the series because the actual loan continues to tell you, no, you're not allowed to pay it off. And that is one of the prerequisites for completing the series, is having your loan completely paid off. So it's a legitimate threat, that is. It really is. The animals, I'm 100% in agreement with all of you. I think a lot of people have said the animals aren't that difficult of a challenge for those three. I agree. It's not. But I think the other two are more difficult enough as it is, that I just decided to go with a little bit of a basic standard animal approach. Maybe Season 3, if we do Season 3. Which I'm sure we will, but whenever that is, maybe we modify it. Maybe we add a little bit more to the animals and make them a little bit more difficult. I don't know, but I think the other two are difficult enough as it is, so it's not that big of a deal. If you do get chickens, though, I can understand how it's a little bit too easy. I can understand that, but it's luck of the draw, right? Luck of the draw. Just because you got animals, just because you got chickens, doesn't mean that the fields that you got are going to be easy, right? Or the loan doesn't mean you're going to be able to get that taken care of. And like I said, me personally, maybe the smartest play would have been to pay, just save money and pay off the loan. But I think more than anything, I'm going to go on a more focus of I'm not paying any of the loan off in the first year. Even if it tells me I can. I mean, if I put anything into it, it'll be a couple, 5, 10, 25,000, whatever it is, maybe at most. But I'm going to go the approach more of I would prefer to get a lot more fields set up and get things just, moving in the right direction. And then after the first year, coming into the second year here, then I'll consider paying off the loan if it allows me to do it, right? That's just the approach I'm taking. Whether it's right or wrong, it does not really make a difference. It's completely up to you. That's the way I'm going to go about it. I would just prefer to have some fields right off the bat and just get myself set up in a working order where I'm making enough money that I'm not majorly concerned about the loan that I've got, right? And then hopefully by the time that first year is up, I'll have a significant amount more money. So if I am able to pay off some of the loan, I can pay it off then, or pay off part of it then. Or even if I can't, I've got enough money that hopefully I'm able to kind of cover the interest that I'm getting every month for a whole year, right? So anyway, how's everyone doing today? Hope you're all doing well, gang. Things are good, man. Things are good. Struggling a bit up this hill. We were struggling over there before as well. Well, I say over there. I guess it's up that way, but whatever. We were struggling a bit on our own fields as well, trying to get the baling going. Now, we're doing the bales here for this contract. We've got 2 more contracts we can do in September, and really this is probably going to be, well, I shouldn't say that. If we buy a field that's relatively large, and we've already surpassed a pretty significant amount of time today, maybe we do a 3rd episode in September. I don't think we will, but maybe we will. Anyway, so we kind of have to figure out what we're going to do now. For the other 2 contracts. We've already got 1. We've got 2 other we can do. So there's 2 harvesting contracts here, which may be beneficial. Because we'd get a little bit of extra if we're able to stop it, at least. We'd be able to get a little bit of extra. There's some other contracts out here that are decent. Like, we need to do some plowing today, potentially, which is why I'm saying maybe we do another episode in September. But it's really just going to depend, right? Because, that rain's in the forecast here. We really don't want to harvest in the rain, right? We're going to lose yield. So it's going to depend on when the rain gets here and if we're able to even buy a field or not. Because, as I mentioned, we do need to pay for a plow, right? So the way that I'm kind of thinking about going about this is maybe we should consider either doing the harvesting contract, since we have a harvester already. So that would be pure profit. But the problem there is the only profit we're going to get is whatever we get from the actual contract amount. Whatever we're able to save from the harvest itself, right? Because they give you a little bit of extra. And if I'm able to save it, I would save it and put it into our silo and make a little bit more money when it's better to sell it, right? You're only going to make a little bit, right? You're only going to make whatever that contract amount is. Whereas if we were to do something like the plowing contracts, we could pretty much pay for our plow. I guess you could argue you could pay for the plow too with the harvesting amount, right? Or near it. It's a little bit less than the plowing contracts. I don't know. We've got some decisions to make there. I don't really know the answer on which one I'm going to go with. I really don't. We have to buy some equipment too, right? That's the thing. We don't have that much equipment. We've got a harvester, we've got a trailer, we've got a tractor, and we've got a baler. That's literally all we have, right? So, we need all of the stuff we have to buy, to reseed or re-drill these fields, right? Now, let's see. What do we have option-wise? So September, October, these are the last 2 months we're going to have, really. I mean, I guess you can do alfalfa. But these are 2 months, really, that we're going to have to be able to put anything in the ground. We could put canola in the ground today, which would honestly be ideal. Oats can be put in. Mustard, cover crop mustard, too. Rye, spelts. Yeah, so there's a decent... Oh, wait a minute. There's 3 months of wheat? That's interesting. Winter wheat, I guess. So yeah, there's some options, I guess, for the next couple of months for us to be able to put stuff into the ground. Canola would be nice just because if we're going to eventually buy that oil factory, right, it would be nice just to store the canola with the poppy and utilize it there to make some money off of it that way. I'm not quite sure we could really do that this early on, but that would be nice. I don't know. There's some thoughts here. A few other things to note, and that a couple people that were asking about. There was some confusion around whenever you harvest something, do you have to turn it into another product? You do not. You do not. The only way that is a situation is whatever randomized crop you got. You had to put all the crops in, and they give you a random crop, and you've got to buy all those fields, harvest them at least once, and re-drill them with that same crop at least once. Whatever that crop is that you got, so for me it's poppy, you have to do that within a production that is on the map, not one you put down yourself. You've got to buy the production on the map and then send all of your crop for that specific crop into that production. You're not allowed to sell that outright. That's it. Everything else, you can sell whenever you want. I can go sell the straw anytime I want. I can go sell, what did we got? What did we have? Spelt, I think, is what we had in the one field. Whatever it is we had. I'm blanking on it right now. But whatever that is, I can go sell it right now if I wanted to. You do not have to do anything with that. It's only the specific crop that you got from the randomizer that has to be put through the actual production that comes with the map, not one you put down yourself. Does that make sense? I hope it does. If it's still confusing, let me know down below. I'll try to explain it a little bit better in the comments if I can. What's in the used market? Nothing. Still nothing. Well, nothing for us, really. The only thing close would be this tractor, but no. It's too expensive. We talked about that in the last episode, so there's no reason to go into it now. So we are 66%, 67% through doing this contract. We've got this pass here, which is going to take us a while to get up this hill again, and then we've got the next one. So while we're doing that, I guess we'll spend a little bit more time here. We'll quick autosave, and we'll spend a little bit more time here on these contracts, because we really need to figure out what we're doing next here. I would have loved to say that there was another square bale contract, and we could have done that, since it's something we already have. But this is a round bale, unfortunately. Bale wrapping, we've already done that. Not on that field, we've already done that. Cultivating, deadwood, fertilizing contracts, harvesting contracts, mowing, plowing, and tedder, and wood transport. The plowing one probably makes the most sense, honestly. I don't know. Maybe the harvesting does. What are we harvesting here? Flax? 2 flax harvests. Okay. So, flax. I don't know anything about flax. It's a decent price. 1,116 in January. That's a decent price. Couple other notes. January, you know, when you've got to do, you know, this randomized thing again with the loan, people were asking if there's a restriction. You have to do it first thing first. You have to do it, you know, later on. Can you do it later on? It's your choice. I mean, I really can't put a restriction on that. If you want to sell some stuff first to try to make yourself in a better spot to pay off the loan, go for it. You know, whatever. I don't really care that much. That's up to you. Again, I'm not trying to force you to play my way. I'm just giving you some restrictions because that's part of the actual series itself, and then the rest of it, I mean, it's just dealer's choice, player's choice, whatever you want to call it. You play how you want to play, right? You've got people, if you're recording and putting it on YouTube at least, you've got people that you know, watch you for a specific way that you like to play. I'm not trying to limit you from doing that. I'm just trying to give you some basic restrictions for the actual series itself, and then let you go how you want from there. Can't limit too much, otherwise it becomes just the Z show. You're just doing everything I'm doing, which is not really the full intent here. %78 done here. One more pass. And we'll be going mostly downhill, so it should be pretty quick. Kind of, you know, I was saying plowing, but I'm kind of leaning towards maybe doing the harvesting. We've got a lot of fields near us, too, that we can look at potentially, you know, seeing maybe there's a better option than the one I'm thinking of. Maybe I can get something for a little bit cheaper, and then maybe I can get both the plow and that field, right? So there's these fields here, which it's grass, and then, was it this way? Yeah, this way. So we got grass field. We've got a lentil. I don't even know what that is. And flax. So there's some other options, I guess we could choose between. And those, I would think, well, except for maybe this one, but these would be cheaper. So like this one, 60,000. Yeah, the 60,000 versus 79 and 100. So yeah. And then there's this guy, too, for 47, which is relatively close to our land. I mean, it's just diagonal from field 38, right? So we could go with that one, too, which would be a little bit cheaper. Maybe that's the one to go with. I don't even know what that is. I would assume it's flax. Nope. What's blue? What is that? What is this? Bean. You guys told me beans are worth a lot of money in this map. I've never done anything with beans. I don't know what I'm doing with those. I mean, they are worth a decent amount of money, and it's actually a different period of time when you would sell them, too. Interesting. Okay, well, that's another option, I guess. We just found another option potentially for us, huh? I mean, I kind of said it at the beginning, right? Realistically, I would like to have, you know, some of the fields or a lot of the fields that are near our yard area, right? Makes things easier for us. And then kind of branch out from there for the poppy fields. Because they're kind of all over the place. They're nowhere really... There's like maybe one that's relatively close, but they're not really near our yard at all, right? So, personally, I think it would just be easier, more beneficial for us to have the fields that are really close to our yard. We don't have to go as far. %95%. We're going to be done here in just a second. Once we get down here to the end, it's going to be over. Right? Probably about between this little twig tree and that other one down there, we'll be done. Here's the one little bit of a hill that we have to go up. And we're nearly to the top of that now. Maybe it is going to make us do the whole entire field here. I didn't think it would, but maybe it is with the straw. I guess it is, because it's, we're going to be at the very end, so never mind. Scratch that. There you go. Pretty much the whole thing. Well, the nice thing is we did get a little bit of another bale out of this field, so, you know, that's good for us. We can drop this off at our yard area. A little bit of extra income. So we'll go turn this in. So that's nice. Gets us to 50,000. I'm really happy about that. And we'll have to see what we're going to do here. I'm leaning I'm leaning towards the harvest, guys. I really am. They're not huge. This is a decent field, but you know, this field's tiny. It's near where we are right now too. Let's do it. Let's do it. We can do the flax. Let's do it. Except, and I'm going to do everything I can to save as much as I can so we can put it into our silo. It would be nice, right? It would be nice to have it. Now, the thing about these two contracts are, that we were just talking about, it's not going to give us enough money to buy Field 43. Field 43 is one of the contracts, actually. Interesting. But that's okay. Excuse me, I don't think it needs to. I don't think we need to, right? I think we might go with one of these other ones, like 111 here or 106. We weren't going to get there no matter what. Even if we did the plowing contracts, we wouldn't get there, right? And we do need to plow these fields up so we can get them prepped to re-drill them anyway, right? So if I just keep buying fields, we're not going to have any of these fields ready or drilled with anything, right? We need to get things drilled in the ground. So I think it might be smarter for me to slide all over the place. I think it might be smarter for me to scratch that thought from our minds and just go with, let's get a plow after we pay this off, and then see what kind of money we have for some kind of a drill, which it's probably going to be one of the standardized drills that you're used to, I would think. One we use often, just because it's going to be the best, you know, bang for the buck right now, if you will. Oh, could I went that way? Maybe I could have. Nope, I couldn't have. I don't know what that is. Maybe I could have cut across one of these roads, these fields, though. I probably could have done that. A little unrealistic, but I probably could have done that. I really like this. I mean, it's kind of a track for everyone, but it's, in my eyes, it's the entrance into our land, right? So I would like to have all of these fields. I think that would be awesome to have, and you could say this is truly our entrance to our whole land, our whole yard. So we can unload this here in a minute. Let's jump into the harvest here. We're gonna go straight for field. I guess it's field 88. It doesn't look like field 88. It's field 43. Oh, field 43 at the bottom. Why did I think that said 33? I don't know why I thought that said 43. Well, anyway. That's more straw. Well, obviously, we can't pick it up. It's not our fields, but it does drop straw, so that's interesting. I didn't know Flax dropped straw. I mean, it kind of looks like a cereal type of crop, but I didn't know. I really don't know anything about Flax. No idea. Other ones, yeah, I would argue I know some about them, but Flax, had no idea. No clue. Anyway, we've got a decent field here to harvest, and then the other one's a much smaller field. Let's get them both harvested, taken care of. We're going to have to go and sell this at two different locations, right? So I think what we'll do is we'll harvest this field. We'll get a little time lapse in here. We'll harvest this field, and then once we're ready to go and sell this field, I'll be back with you, and then we can do the small field together outside of a time lapse. Okay, well, this is taking significantly longer than I actually anticipated. The thing I always forget about, right, is we've got the other series going, and I guess, well, I guess they're all kind of coming to an end. But when I say the other series, I'm saying the ones we've been running for a while. You know, the Kinleg series, the One Tile Challenge, and then, of course, the Survive 25 series, right? They've all got much superior harvesters, I guess is how I will put it. This is a great harvester. It's just very slow, and you know, it stalls a lot. So it's just taking a little bit longer than I anticipated that it would take. So that was a very long time lapse, and I guess what I'm trying to get at is there's a high probability that we're not going to get anything plowed today. I'm not saying we're going to 100% do another episode in September, because I don't think we will, but there's a high probability that we will not get our fields plowed today like I had initially intended, or at least get one of them plowed today like I initially intended, just based off of time alone. So what that means is we're going to have a little bit of less options for what we can put in the ground, you know, for the next episode when we're in October, right? There's definitely some things we can still put in the ground. A lot of those are going to require, well, they're going to not even require, they're going to have straw possibilities if we want to. We can drop straw if we want to. There's not going to be the possibility of canola or anything like that. So, you know, it is what it is. We're just going to have to make a decision. And more than likely what I'm going to do in the next episode is probably, or in October, I guess is how I should put it, is more than likely we're going to do something like, I don't know, alfalfa, clover, that kind of stuff. I don't know. Are we able to actually harvest that? I mean, we're harvesting flax, so maybe the answer to that is yes. But I really don't know the answer to that, I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, I guess. I mean, I don't see it there, so no. No, it's not. Okay, so, yeah, so, you know, the decision's going to be we're probably going to have to do, maybe we do rye. Rye would work, I think. So maybe we do rye or spelt. I just don't want to do one that's just going to be, you know, mowed up, right? I want it to, I mean, cover crop-ish type of thing, right? Maybe we do mustard. We could do mustard. Anyway, there's some options, I guess is how I'll put it. But I would like to not do wheat or barley, or if I can help it, just because we've done that so many times in the past. Even if it's, you know, a very similar type of harvest and a very similar type of crop itself, I would like to do some of the new stuff whenever I can, I guess is how I'll put it. The rain is here. Luckily, we're doing a contract, so it doesn't really matter. But the rain is here. Actually, now that I say that, I guess I've never really paid attention. Maybe one of you know. If you're doing a contract and you're harvesting the contract, does it still give you less for the contract now? So in other words, what I'm saying is when I go and sell this for this contract, are we going to get less crop that will be, you know, like the bonus crop that we can try to stop and save? Are we going to get less? I don't know the answer. Maybe, right? But I really don't know. Time this recording, we are going to be doing 2 episodes. I think the guys at least are going to be doing 2 episodes of the competitive One Tile Challenge, which is exciting. Yep, there it goes. There it goes. Harvesting while it rains will reduce yield. There it goes. That's what I was wondering, right? But it's a contract though, so does it really matter? I mean, it's not our field. We don't own it. I think I'm just going to keep going. I'm just going to keep going. How long is it supposed to rain for? Well, for a while. By the time it stopped raining, it would be dark out. So we really don't want to do that. I don't mind doing stuff in the dark, and occasionally we probably will, but I don't think it's the best quality to watch me do stuff in the dark. You're not really seeing a whole lot, right? So whenever I can help it, I try not to do that. I guess I could have slowed down time a little bit, but I mean, I'm just going to keep it at 3 for most of the series. Okay, so where are we? Where are we taking field 43 to? Okay, up to the north. Okay, we've never been there, so as a matter of fact, here's what I'm going to do. If I can help it, I'm going to jump to here and tag it. There we go. So now we know where we're going. The paint's already starting to chip off the harvester, man. We've only got 2.2 hours on this thing, and the paint's already chipping. Does this seem realistic? 2.5 hours? Not even 2.5 hours. Less than 2.5 hours, and it's already got paint chipping going on? What kind of quality machine is this? Alright, last strip, and then we can go and turn this in. And like I said, I'm going to do everything in my power to try to stop it. Is that full? Almost. It's not. We're going to be close. It's going to be... We might have to make 2 trips. It'll be close. Hopefully not, but we might. And then the other field we've got is well, actually, it's a little bit bigger than I thought it was. It's still small, but it's a decent size still. It's over 1 acre, isn't it? Yeah, 1.5 acres. Well, the field size is only 1.19. Sorry, guys, stepped away from the microphone for a second. The field size is only 1.19 acres, but the actual size is 1.5 acres. Yeah, so this field is very similar to the size of our field 38. I actually think this might actually all fit in there, only just, but I do think it's going to fit into the trailer. What I'm probably going to do is I'm not going to have a worker do any of the harvest on field 88 here, but I probably will send a worker on transporting the harvester to the location if, you know, we have enough room in the trailer to fit the rest of this. Which, again, I think we will, because I think it's a 10,000 liter trailer, and I think we're going to have just under 2,000 by the time we're done with this field. Pretty much done. Yeah, this will all fit in there. This is all going to fit in there easily. I'm not going to drive the harvester down to the other end. I'm just going to drive the tractor. It's going to be faster. Alright, so we've got a bit of a drive. We haven't really... I mean, we kind of were over there in some of those smaller fields up there at the top, right? The 45s and the whatever those are. Ones that are... All the numbers are kind of on top of each other up there to the left of where we're going to sell this. But we really haven't, you know, explored over there on that side of the road all that much yet. So it'll be kind of nice to go over there and check that area out on the way. I think we're going to just take one of the main roads there. Kind of go from there. Struggling to get up the hill again. Alright, we'll get this unloaded. Let's go get this sold, and then we'll get everything moving here. So once I get this unloaded, I'll put the worker on it. I hope. I'm not sure if the worker's actually going to know how to get there or not, unless I take the harvester out to the main road. Part of me feels like they're not going to know how to get there. But I guess we'll find out right now, huh? Tell you what we'll do. But try to help it out, and hopefully this works. If we drive it over to like our main entryway, it may figure it out. Now the problem might be the fact that the header here is too big and it starts running into traffic. That's a very high probability that that's going to happen. As a matter of fact, I can almost guarantee you it'll probably happen. But let's see if we can set it up to work here. Did I not set it up right? Or maybe it already said cannot do. Go to... I guess I didn't set it up properly. Okay. All right. Well, I'm not gonna complain. It's going. We'll see what happens. All right. So we are heading all the way up there, which again I'd like to take probably the main road here. I guess I should have went back through our field there. It probably would have been easier than the way I'm going now. But okay. Well, we'll go down here to this main road, and then we can hang a left, kind of at the, well, I guess it's more than just a fork, isn't it? There's multiple ways to go. Okay, really, Byron? What the hell was that? I had the right of way. What are you doing? That guy, I'm telling you. Never fails. Never fails. The inside of this is super nice. I don't think I've ever been in the inside. There he goes. Don't do it, Byron. Don't just slam on your brakes on me while I'm sitting here looking around. They've already completed their task. Interesting. Okay, well, what is that? Cows. Okay. That's kind of cool. I don't think I've ever seen that sign before. Nice Doltz farm back in there. Pay attention to the road, Z. Quit looking around. All right, we're going to hang a left here. Massive forest over here on our right. If you look at the mini-map, in the left-hand corner. A huge forest over there. Alright, can we stop this at all? I would say the odds are probably low. Okay, here's our sell point. Let's see what happens here, huh? Not much. We made $209. We had an $11 environmental score penalty. But $209 we ended up making that I was not able to stop, and we've got 575 liters of flax in here. So if we're lucky with the other field, we might get somewhere around 600, 700 liters of flax. It's not anything crazy to write home about, but you know what? It's something, right? It's something. So let's get everything all set up and get the other field going here. we'll drop this off at our yard into the silo, and then we will head on down to where the harvester hopefully is. It looks like they are there. I mean, if you look at the map, it sure to me looks like they made it. So, surprisingly enough, that worked. I'm actually really, really surprised by that. Anyway, let's get to work. All right, well, that is all done, and as I mentioned, it probably wasn't going to be much, and it wasn't, but we got 113 liters saved from that. So, you know, it's fine, right? It's going to be, 600-something liters, I guess, somewhere around in that range of extra profit that we can get whenever it comes time to sell the flax at the best price, right? So, could be worse. Absolutely could have been better, but it could be worse. And we're still making a decent amount of money once we turn these contracts in as well. So we'll go ahead and dump this in here. Turn that off for the time being. So we've got 33,485 of rye, 10,289 of mustard, and 687 liters of flax in there. So that's good, right? So here are the winter months, and or whenever it's best to sell them, that's going to help us out a lot, really, as a matter of fact. So let's turn these contracts in. So that gets us to $55,561. Hopefully we get lucky in October and maybe something will pop up in the used market that'd be useful for us. If not, we'll just continue to carry on as we have. I need to unload the rest of, well, at least this one bale out of here. We'll do that next episode or whenever we decide to do it. We'll do it then. But we're going to leave the episode at this point. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you smash the like and subscribe button. In the case you've yet to do so, they are free to do. They help me out an absolute ton. It's actually the easiest and best way to help me out. And it's one of the last free things in the world that you can do. Thank you to my members. Cannot thank them enough. If you're interested in that, there is a link down below. You get early access to videos like this one, including the competitive one-tile challenge. Check out my second channel. It's not Farming Simulator related. I do not do a release every single day, but it's every couple of days or every other day, somewhere around in there, whenever I have the time to do so. Not Farming Simulator related, like I mentioned, but we still do some pretty fun stuff there. So check that out if you haven't done so. Check the Discord out especially. You can share your thoughts on there, share any videos that you might be posting or whatever you may want. I also post every video, regardless of what channel it is, on there as well. Yeah. I think that's it. We'll leave the episode at that point. Thanks for watching, gang. Thanks for your support, as always. I'll see you next time.